Hey, what's going on, guys? We're going to look at some Marx Fighting Knights figures, and we're going to take a look at them up close. Uh, we'll look at each individual sculpt within the Fighting Knights line that we have here, these original ones that were produced by Marx in 1965. And then over here on the left side of the table, we have reproductions of the original figures that are available now. You can find these online. I purchased mine from hobbybunker.com. And we'll talk a little bit about the differences, but we'll take a look at each individual sculpt, and then you'll see in the back there we have our Vikings, and we'll look at them in a different video. If you take a look also, uh, there's our original playset there on the floor. All right, so let's set this up. I think we'll go right about here. I think that's good. And let's talk about this first sculpt we'll look at are these two that go together, which are the knight on horseback. The original set comes with two of these. You get a white horse, or kind of an off-white horse, and a black horse, and then two of this knight figure. And look at our original guy. He's still got a little bit of flash on him. So this figure has no Marx imprint on it. And here's the horse. It also has no Marx imprint on it. One thing that's nice about these original figures is that these two fit together very nicely and very solid. You can see they're not going anywhere. But the reproductions, there is a definite difference between the quality and consistency of the plastics themselves, which the figures are made out of. And on another note regarding that same thing, these figures that we're handling here and looking at right now have a very distinctive feel, but most importantly, smell to them that still exists to this day. These figures are from 1965, and I guess that makes them 55 years old, and they still smell like Louis Marx Plastics Company plastic that was produced in 1965. The reproductions smell almost as inert. There's nothing there. These figures have a quality to them that the plastic carries something with it. And so if you played with these figures when you were a kid and you haven't handled them in 45 or 50 years, when you get them in hand and you look at them up close and you smell the plastic, it will jog your olfactory senses, and you will be able to access your memory banks in your human mainframe. So this is the swordsman. I only have one of that figure, sadly. I really liked that figure a lot as a kid. Also, the horseman that we already talked about or looked at, I liked him a lot as a kid as well. This guy also. Now, I don't believe all of these figures, but some of these figures were made by Marx in the 6-inch scale as well. This is one of the ones that I recall seeing as a 6-inch figure. Again, 1965. Where are we at? There we are. The Axeman. Beautiful figure. All right, now this guy, I guess I would call him a sentry or a guard. Full plate mail. All of these guys full plate mail. These were the first armored knights, or medieval figures that I ever played with as a kid when I first got this set. This was one of my personal favorites as a kid. This figure that is using this flail, or yeah, I think this is what this is. Is this a flail or a morning star? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Been a long time since I played Dungeons and Dragons. It's a mace? I don't know. This is a great figure, though. I really love this figure a lot. I still like it to this day. Well, I mean, all of these figures I still like to this day, obviously. That was you know. All right, another one of my favorites. This guy, I guess a pikesman, or this is a pole arm of some sort. He has that similar type of helmet as the last figure that we looked at. I really like this figure as well, a lot. And then the last figure here in this Marx Fighting Knights line of figures is this fellow right here, who I would always put in kind of a command position, usually at the top of one of the parapets or the entry to the castle. Is parapet the right word? Again, all of these originals, when you encounter them, will have the Marx imprint and the date, the year of production. So when you get to things like the reproduction figures that you can find nowadays, well, this one in particular. So remember what we were talking about when I showed the other horsemen? So these guys, the horses also don't stand up as well. So here's a reproduction of the guy that we just looked at in this blue plastic, which I really like. And there's definitely some good detail. Look at the detail on his armor that maybe doesn't even show up that well in our original. Well, no, I suppose it's there in the original. But there's something about this blue that I like. So when you do encounter these, if you do, you will notice that all of the Marx imprint, or not all of it, sometimes they can't get it all, will have been ground off or sanded off with a Dremel type tool from the molds, the original molds. Yeah. So somewhere, I don't know. I don't know how this happened. But you can, however it happened, you can buy reproductions of these figures that we've just been looking at in blue and in black, and you can find them for affordable prices online at different places that I've come across. So yeah. But as I mentioned, the plastic is different. It is not the same. It will not smell the same. It will not feel the same. They are not originals. The bottom has been altered so they can be differentiated between reproductions and original Marx figures. Now they've done the same thing with accessories. This is a reproduction accessory, and this is an original accessory. Now you can see there's a difference in the color and also in the consistency of the plastic when you hold them in hand. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a difference in that this smells almost like nothing, and this smells like 1965. It really still does. So I think this is a good point to end our video for now. We've had some time to take a look at these 6 knight molds that came from the original, or 6 knight figures that came from the original Fighting Knights playset, as well as the 7th being the man on horseback. In the next video, if it is the next video, I think it might be, we'll take a look at the Vikings, and there are 9 different Viking figures, molds in the set, and they are really fun to look at, so that might be a longer video. That might be a 2-parter. All right, so hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.